Yo, I know it's been a little bit since our last discussion, but I'm here today to tell you about a little pearl of life that we all have and that we should all cherish, which is called attention. Um, we're only granted so much in our life, and I feel like personally, attention is a currency now, and just like the dollar or silver or like crypto, like it has a price to pay, and no matter what that price is, I feel like there's something important about like our conscious, and just what is so important about it is that it's just wasted effort, or it could be effort. It's potential effort, and that effort is going to turn into mush, to slob, to I don't know, you name it, dude, but it's not good, no bueno. And really, what does this like? How does attention get brought into the picture when we don't really trade for it, or we do trade for it? So the way we trade our attention is just playing a game or commentating. And what do I get out of this? I don't know. I get to look back on how bad of a gamer I was, and then also just hear my voice. So I think it's pretty cool. Maybe a face cam would do like a 3-in-1, and spending a little bit more attention onto detail would drag a video into something being like worthwhile. And then you add subtitles, and then then you have an outro, an intro maybe. Depends on how quirky we want to get, but for the most part, you know, giving something good and valuable more of your attention is really just going to allow you to find bigger and better opportunities. And that's really because when you're just switching from one thing to another, to the left, to the right, up, down, you're spending all that time searching out different things and only learning like a minuscule amount. And then when it doesn't work out, you switch on to the next thing. You're not really progressing in there. It's like trying on shoes without walking in them, and then just getting the ones that look the best. That's honestly, I think the shoes, you're walking in them, and that's when you feel like if they're actually a quality or not. And so I feel like the more time you invest into them, maybe take a snap of the freaking shoes. You see the lighting in there. You see, how it reflects when it's a certain mirror, certain filter, whatever. The more time you put into seeing how, I guess, valuable the shoe is, you could be spending that time seeing how valuable a skill is, or a hobby, and really allowing it to add something to your life, or your side biz, whatever it is. The more good attention and time that you spend with it, the better results you're going to get. Which brings me into point number like 8 or so, maybe 4, 84 reasons. I think I have 48 reasons on why attention is so goated. So attention number 4, we dude, honestly, like when you think about how much attention is wasted, you start to understand like, yeah, this is low key valuable. Because like, when's the last time you've had a thought to yourself? Was it right now? Can you remember what you thought about 20 seconds ago? Probably not. And that's because we're just losing our attention, bro. And like, I feel like the more time that we're dedicating to something else besides ourselves, like, the less our brain is trying to even understand ourselves, and it just understands other people. So the thing with social media is that we're always comparing ourselves to other people subconsciously. You don't make it a rational decision. Be like, oh, this dude is buffer than me, or this chick has better nails than me. She's wearing better makeup than me. You stop thinking about what you have and thinking about what others have. You're honestly falling into like that. I guess it's a sin called greed or jealousy. It's like one of those two, or maybe both of them, like envy. But it steals like all your joy, from the progress you made. Like, I've been cutting, dude, and then I'll watch a reel or something, and it's this dude like he drank 24 beers and takes steroids, and he has almost the same physique as me. It's outrageous, bro, because I've been working out like 6 years, and this dude just hops on gear and drinks all day, and we're like the same, and you can't tell, you literally cannot tell who works out and who just drinks all day, which is crazy. Maybe it's a bad sign about me. I don't drink though, so I think it could just be the algorithm telling me, hey dude, you better lock in because this dude not even trying, and y'all are the same. Crazy. So maybe just try harder, and maybe that ties into the last point I made about giving more of your attention to things that are actually going to benefit you. I think having a great physique probably would benefit me, just for the fact that I would probably spend less time on it then because I've already hit what I needed to or got what I needed to. I don't know if that's a bad way of looking at it, or saying that I'm going to spend my attention on something else that'll benefit me just like this did. So I don't know which one is better to think with. I need some help on that. I'm going to keep on searching the answer for that one. And point number 5, I think that you need to see everything as currency when you start to use attention for it. Now, what I mean for this is, like, if I'm working a job, I need to make sure that my attention right now and my efforts are worth about maybe $20 an hour. Maybe 30 if I actually, like, put in some editing into this video, then we could see some massive growth. But alongside that, you have attention and you spend it on what you eat, what you drink, what you're breathing in, or what you're watching and consuming and listening to and just absorbing, because you're a sponge. If you're under like 25, you're still a sponge. You're soaking in all this information, and then you make a complete evaluation of the world. And it's hard to change that, like, the older you get, it's not impossible, but it's definitely gonna ruin, or I guess you're gonna have to spend even more attention on it than if you just did it now, of just trying to find ways to improve life. It doesn't have to be for you. It can be for somebody else, trying to help. Like, if you're like a charity event, you go see in what ways you can help. Or, if you want to volunteer for something. Simple as that, You try to see what more you can do. And honestly, bro, I think that makes the world of the difference. When you change your lens from, I need to have this attention be spent on something beneficial, instead of, because you just stop using it, you stop using your attention, and you just low-key gave it away. I mean, maybe you giggled at it, you chuckled at it, but can you remember the last video you chuckled at? The last 3? The last 5? And then can you tell me, like, the last time you really thought about where you're at right now? I know, I've had a lot of time to think, and this is what I've come up with, is how much attention can I just give away before, I kind of just give myself away. And to be honest, dude, it's not about how much you do, it's about how much you don't do. I think that's the biggest thing. Even just stopping watching, like, other people's lives and, just like I say, subconsciously comparing yourself, the more you get to experience your own life and just realize how beautiful, your own attention is, and just realize that, you need to spend more time with yourself, because you're seeing how everybody else is functioning, you kind of forget how you function, and then you're starting to get thrown away, in a sense. To be honest, I think that, like, watching the way you ordain yourself, you conduct yourself, it really allows you to see what type of person you are. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I've done this for the past couple months, and slowly throughout the whole, like, couple months, I've seen what kind of person I actually am, and then I just, like, I gotta make some improvements. And now, slowly but surely, coming a long ways, And it really just focused, or it really mattered what I was doing with my time, because I could just be like rotting, like playing games. I could be, just scrolling social media or eating a ton, but I was never really like studying or do like anything beneficial. Studying, working out, um, learning just new things, or working, like how to build a website, how to sell, how to make ads, like all these different things. They're starting to take over and really allow me to see like what I need to work on in my life. So I feel like it could do the same for you if you tried it, gave it a chance. I've only been doing like the past like 7 days. I've been more aware of what I'm actually doing with my time, and I think I've been doing this for about a couple months. But like right now, have I understood like the projection of my life? And I keep thinking about, if I looked at myself when I was, or if I'm 80 and I'm looking back on myself and how I was right now, and then I saw like the decision I made back then and how it affected me to where I am at 80, you kind of start saying like, hey, this is the unknown. I got to embrace the unknown, because I think that's kind of like the mystery of life. The unknown, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't It's so surprising to see how in an instant your life could change if you just tried more, or spent just that little bit of time. I think time is like a lottery ticket, and the more you're putting into it, the more lottery tickets you're getting, the more potential you have to come back at you. So depending on what you put those lottery tickets in, dude, or those tickets just in general, it doesn't have to be the lottery, but just tickets. The more you put in, you're going to expect a better prize to come from it. Whether it's a really crappy prize or a really extravagant, AirPods type prize. Dude, I'm telling you, attention is going to save your life if you know how to use it right. And I feel like I'm using my attention a lot more resourcefully than I was back then, or literally just a couple of weeks or months ago. And I'm starting to overcome my fears, because you have to embrace the unknown. Like I said, it's low key fundamental and optimal, just to help you, and just to really help change and shift the way your life is going to go. I think that we kind of get distracted a lot, and these distractions, that's the whole point, is that they don't ever try to remind us of where we are. They try to get us away from what we're doing and allow us to just become adapted to that, to be normal to that, to be suffice, I guess. It doesn't want us to chase more. And I see a lot of people like that now. They're just content with what they got. They're not really building towards anything. They're just doing it for the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that if you want to spend your life being single-handed, that's cool. But it's really until you train both hands is when you get a full grasp of life. Spitting? I think I just did, bro. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had for attention. And just good luck to that journey, starting that journey, because it's going to, it's a little scary, for sure. You'll actually be like, yo, I had no idea that I was going to be here. So you want to see where you're at right now, where you want to go, where you were, and how long it's going to take, and how much effort is required to make this happen. That's basically the 5 rules of attention, and don't waste it, because it is life itself. It's a gift, so just spend it wisely, make a good investment out of it. anyways, I'll see you. I'll try to post more because I know I've been slacking. Some things been happening, some big things, to be honest, and I'm kind of excited. Wow, I'm really excited. So I'll see you next vid. Peace.
Why you gotta scream like that? Living like you're so carefree. I don't wanna talk right now. Why you gotta be like that? Maybe you just haven't met me. Let me introduce myself.